Now that you've identified your tasks, you've grouped them into logical groupings, you've ordered them, it's time now to identify the concepts. You want to wait until this point. If you attempt to identify concepts before this, it becomes a mess. My experience in 17 years has been that you need to wait until now to identify the concepts. But this is the time. What you do is you begin with each set of tasks, each process, and you ask the question, what are the concepts? What is it that people need to understand in order to complete these tasks? You want to look at the global concepts, the concepts that cut across all of the tasks. Once you've identified those global concepts, then you can move in on a task-by-task basis and say, for this task, is there another concept that needs to be identified, another concept that needs to be documented or taught? So you begin with the global concepts and then you move to the individual concepts on a task-by-task basis. One of the things that you need to be careful with is that you don't identify concepts that are really small, that are so focused that they're more of a definition than a concept. After you have identified your set of concepts, you want to do a concept balancing, where you look at each concept and say, about how many pages or how many paragraphs would it take to really explain this concept? And if you find one concept that is really large and other concepts that are really slow, you want to begin to do some nesting or some breaking up. It really is a rather artsy thing at this point. You have to just use some common sense as you move through and begin to sort out the conceptual underpinnings associated with each of the processes or with the tasks that you have identified. Again, once you've identified your concepts, you want to make sure that those concepts are fairly proportionate in terms of the size and the scope. So you want to move through and work with your SMEs and make sure that they're fairly consistent in terms of the size. And the way that I've done that is I just simply ask them about how many paragraphs or how many pages would it take you to really explain this. And SMEs are pretty good at estimating that. And if you have something that is more lengthy than others, something that as an SME would say would be 3 to 5 pages and everything else would be 3 to 4 paragraphs, you would probably want to break that into a smaller concept.